Okay, Improvisation Center's back again for a quick little video on a project that has been around since before we really got started with all this, and that is what we've called the Mustang Chicken Coupe. This is actually an old Mustang that was partially damaged by a tree falling on it, and rather than junk it, we turned it into a chicken coop. And part of that process involved running some plumbing for drinker cups, as you could see over there. Gonna have to clean a lot of this up, but one of the things that we had a problem with was the idea that we can never really get to a reasonable enough pressure to not rupture those little drinker cups. It's like those things are actually made for just gravity feed, super low, no pressure water. So what we're going to end up doing is doing a setup that is similar to our newer watering setups in the other car coupes. I'll show you that in a second. Yeah, this watering setup right here is our newer version. This one here uses a pressurized water line like normal from a garden hose going to a regulator, and it feeds into a float valve mounted in that bucket right there, and the bucket just gravity feeds right into the drinker cups. No harm, no foul. Drinker cups work like they're supposed to, and it gets water like it's intended. So we're gonna basically mimic this setup here and put it in that coupe right there. So I had to do a couple little things. One, as you could already see, I cut the water line right there, because what I'm going to end up doing is running a water line across this area here. This door is normally closed. The other side is open, but run a water line across here and then put another piece of conduit right here, a tube or something, mounted to these side pieces right here, and put our bucket right there, and then run another line back down along there and connect to the what's going to run along here, and it's going to connect right up to our line feeding all the drinker cups and crap. There's actually drinker cups inside the hood area, in the engine bay area, because that's actually the nesting box area. I'll do more on this thing on a later video, so stand by for that. But in the meantime, water revamping. All right, got our low pressure side pretty much done. That's just a simple bucket, like I said, with well, right here I put a, let me see if we get a better angle. I put a male thread to female slip fitting on there, drilled a hole in the bottom, wrapped the threads with Teflon tape, screwed the fitting in there, took this 90-degree conduit elbow that I had, used that in place of the regular little elbows, and then just connected the rest of this with PVC pipe to our main water line going to the drinker cups and all. Inside we have our float valve that actually adapts down to this little 1/8 fitting right here. From here I'm going to actually put another little set of adapters, brass adapters, and then elbow down and then run along the same length as this pipe over to this hole right here, where it's going to go down through the floor and to our garden hose connector. That's a high pressure side, and I have to get some glue in order to do this, so that's going to be for tomorrow. But at least right now we have our low pressure side pretty much done. You can also notice the extra length of conduit that I anchored down to hold the bucket in place, so that's also taken care of. So now we can go ahead and get our glue so we can get the rest of this trash put together. Stand by. Okay, we got our glue now, and I actually took the time to cut everything and get everything lined up where I need it to be, so now I can go ahead and glue everything. Once it's all done, our high pressure line is going to run right alongside the low pressure line and more or less probably be zip tied to this in order to hold it all together. But yeah, everything's running down there. I have the regulator on the end of that pipe right there going through the floor, so I'll be able to hook up our garden hose fitting to that. So other than that, we're about done. Let's get this crap glued together. All right, our little watering apparatus is working as designed. Got water in these little drinker cups right here. We'll move on. You can see our little setup is working. It's slowly filling up. Our other ones down there, you can probably see. Let me zoom in here. Focus there. We got some water filling those up just as well. So everything is working as it's supposed to. You can see our lines as we have them set up. Let me close this all up because they don't belong in here. You can go. Come here, chicken. Get out. There you go, chicken. Okay. Anyway, as you can see, we have our line right here, our high pressure line. This one routed from the regulator. Let me go under here, and you can see that little setup with the garden hose fitting hooked up to it, coming up through the floor, going to the line, feeding up into our float valve. And our float valve right there doing its little job of trickling water into the bucket, which in turn is feeding water down into the low pressure side to fill up our drinker cups. And because of the regulator, it's not just spraying all over the place, especially since we have our inevitable leaks that seem to be commonplace with a lot of this cheap stuff. But better to have just a little bitty leak than a gusher. So, yep, the water system version 2 for the Mustang Chicken Coupe is completed, and we're up to date with this coupe, just like with our truck coupe and our cab bed coupe over there that I call the S10 Ranger because it's an S10 bed and a Ranger cab. They all have the same watering apparatus. And our newest addition, the minivan, which is going to become another chicken coop, but with the intent of having bulk feeders in there to allow us to feed chickens on the long term, such as, well, we're on vacation. So you'll see more of that stuff later, because that's going to be the next project that I'm going to start working on in earnest. So stay tuned for that. So, yep, again, watering apparatus has been updated for the Mustang Chicken Coupe. It's all back online. As you can see, the baby chickens have their little water supply now, automatic, and all is serene and peaceful. So, yeah. So, until next time, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe, notifications, all that good stuff. Always appreciate your patronage and positive comments, of course. And until the next time, I'm probably going to go inside because it's hot as hell out here. So I shall catch you later.